Hey Scorpio, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. Take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this reading, go check your other major placements. We're starting off today with a traditional tarot spread with a traditional, well, sort of traditional tarot deck. And then we'll do an extended over on Vimeo. You can find the extended in the description box below. And then we'll do, with the extended, we'll look more into things. We'll do more of the intuitive cards, the oracle cards, and that kind of thing. So that's what we're trying right now. So I've already shuffled the cards. I'm going to cut the deck. From the bottom, we're going to take the overall for the reading. Six of Swords, leaving something. Leaving something for the unknown. This isn't leaving something because you see something better off into the future, except a better possibility for better. There's nothing specific though. This card, as opposed to the Eight of Cups card where we're pretty satisfied, but we want more. This is we're very dissatisfied. We're very, something's gone wrong where we're at. There might be some protection. You might be feeling protected. There might be people helping you leave a situation. So overall, we've just got movement away from something. So that's the general idea. It's not necessarily to anything specific. There may not even be a vision of the future. It's just not this. So it could be any number of things. Could be a way of running your life. It could be larger, smaller, just not that. So we'll see what the rest of the cards have to say. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's the issue? Your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. I'm seeing some themes this week, mostly of communication. In your recent past, you have Two of Cups here. This is meeting some sort of kindred spirit, maybe a soulmate, but maybe a kindred spirit. This could be a friend. This could be a coworker. This could be just a couple hours of really being able to relate to someone and understand someone. So there's a meeting of the minds here. This is about a relationship of some kind. It could be couched in work. It could be something like that, but it could also be just a relationship. So there's some sort of connection, some sort of emotional connection, deep emotional connection with someone. It was sustaining, somehow productive, like emotionally productive. Maybe you're not, it was sort of a time out of time, sort of a, not just part of the everyday. It definitely stood out as something that was different, that was unique, that was a break from the norm. It's like they're on a farm. I'm remembering myself, remembering tea time on a farm in India and taking that time out in the middle of the day, well, at 11 o'clock, in the middle of the day to talk, to relate, a break in the work, a break in the effort, and just connecting with each other. In your current situation, we have Four of Coins. So we have an obsession here. The obsession can be run the gamut from super healthy, like when you first have a baby or when you're on your honeymoon or something like that, sort of time out, to really unhealthy. And the Four of Coins is something small. So this means like it's a limited time or it's just not that much. So you're kind of neglecting other duties. But that's a little bit of what we started off with here anyway, this neglecting other duties to relate to somebody. So you may be neglecting other duties now to obsess about something, to think about something. And it's not that much. It's like there was one conversation. I mean, if that's what we're talking about here, there was one conversation. It wasn't all that. I mean, it was a beautiful, gorgeous connection. But it's really, and it's something you're looking back on and obsessing and perhaps journaling about, and neglecting your other duties. So it's fine to like, tea time's important, breaks are important, connecting is important, but There's a bit of obsessing over here, and it was just a conversation. It wasn't years of your lives. It was like a moment in time, I see. And there's a lot of overthinking of it. Maybe you're not going out with your friends because you're thinking about this or wanting more of this, or something. So the Four of Coins is it's not much. So it's either limited in scope or limited in time, and we're taking some time out for it. So it can be obsession, like studying for finals, where we're taking time out. We're not going out with our friends. We're really focused on this one thing. Or it could be more like a honeymoon vibe. We're not hanging out with other people. We're just very focused on this one thing. But it could also be, being very focused on something that's not all that. There's 10 coins available, and we've stopped at 4, and we're super obsessed with 4, very possessive about the 4. So, but with this one, I see sort of a timeout, super focused. It wasn't much, but it definitely caught your attention, and it's caused you to sort of isolate or think about it, obsess about it to the expense of other activities, which is fine for a time and appropriate for a time. So you'll be deciding whether this is like a healthy sort of timeout obsession, or whether this is like, okay, that it wasn't all that. Like, what are we doing here? We might be wasting our time here, or learning a lesson here about, not that much. But there is a timeout here and a mild obsession. This isn't like an addiction, like the devil energy. This is an obsession. It could be just a time period. You might just be like a little obsessed right now with this connection, with this conversation. Or you might be clinging to something. You might be clinging to something that's just not all that. What you're hoping for is forward movement, being able to go somewhere. So you could be hoping for the Chariot, of course, is going to be transportation oftentimes. So you're hoping to maybe transport somewhere, go on a trip. Who isn't hoping to go on a trip? I love to travel. So hoping to go on a trip, hoping to have the means to go on a trip, or just hoping that things can come together and you can move forward with some amount of power and momentum. So you're looking for some way to move forward. You're very stuck though. You're very like right here. I'm staying right here. I'm obsessed with this thing. I'm focused on this thing. I'm focused on this thing. But there's like this desire for movement and a desire for things to come together and move and flow a little bit. It seems unlikely, but that's kind of what you're hoping for, is some flow and some movement, maybe to go on a trip, maybe to just move something. And there's some power, there's some horsepower here that you're looking for. And there might be like opposite forces kind of coming together, joining together to move something forward. Independent forces that work together for a time period and can come together and make this happen. So in your, what's that issue here is 3 of Wands, a lack of faith. Well, that would definitely cause some clinging here, and this clinging behavior can be very much rooted in a lack of faith. So someone here either doesn't have faith in the future or can't see it. They don't see where this is going. Like you want to go somewhere, but you don't know where, maybe, or you want to head off somewhere. But somebody here just doesn't believe in the journey, doesn't believe in the possibilities, doesn't believe this is possible or a good idea. There's a general lack of faith. So that could easily be you clinging on to something that is in the past, some sort of connection from the past or something like that, clinging to it because you don't have faith in the future. You can't really see what's possible, what could unfold. You don't have faith in your own dreams or faith in yourself. There's a sense of not looking to the future, of just looking at the past. That's easy to do because the past is already there. We already have an image of it. We already know who all the characters are. We already know what the feelings are. We already know all of that. It's a little bit more comforting to look at the past, and that might be what you're clinging to, right? They say, people repeatedly watch like the same show or the same TV show or the same film, because the second time through, you know what's going to happen. So if you love the characters and you love the storyline, you already know what's going to happen. So the suspense is taken out, the uncertainty is taken out, and it becomes sort of a comfort thing. So some people do that as a way for to watch something that's comfortable. So it may be like a wild, crazy story, but for the person watching it through the second time, there's some sort of certainty, some sort of known, some sort of comfort zone. So it's so much easier and more comfortable to look at something from the past because it's also known, or we think it's known, you know, how we're going to feel. Oh, that part. Oh, I love remembering that part, or something like that. Rather than looking to the future, which is this big unknown. You know, if we're being honest, we don't really know what it holds at all, good or bad. We have no idea. So so it can just be this big blank out here in the future. So it can be a lot more comfortable to just remember the past and look at the past, and not comfortable overall. We don't end up feeling super great about it, but the future's just got a lot of uncertainty and unknown. And so you could be uncomfortable with the uncertainty. Whereas looking back, like repeating that, watching a movie you've seen several times before, which I'm not dissing, I do it from time to time myself. I have several movies I watch repeatedly. I do watch new movies too, though. I mean, we all do, but when I'm feeling a certain way, I know exactly what's going to make me feel that certain way, and what's going to build on it. Rather than take a risk with something new and I might not like it. So that's what I'm seeing, is it focused on a known entity from the past and not really having a lot of faith in the future to bring you anything in. What's in your environment? I love this card. It's such a cop out. It's like, I feel when tarot shows me the world, or the Wheel of Fortune for what's in your environment, it's like, I don't know, it's just the environment, just stuff's going on. The world here, all these forces outside of our control, the planets, the seasons, the days, the nights, the moon, all of these huge forces around us, climate and weather, and oftentimes politics for most of us, just this force way outside of ourselves. So just things are changing, things are moving, but they're also staying the same a little bit. We get that with the World card because we circle back to where we were at the beginning, right? So we've made this whole rotation, and now here we are right back at the beginning. It's the last of the cards, so we could be talking about an ending, something coming to a close, something having wrapped up. You could have been involved in a project, met someone, it was really great. You don't really see much of a future here, even though you're still kind of stuck on them. And then the project's wrapping up and moving on, and everybody's got to go back to their home bases. So, and the World card can be like, things are changing, but we're also right back where we started a year ago. Changed and different, but with a whole cycle completing. So it can reference larger things happening in the world that are outside of your control, which we're all dealing with. That is part of just being alive in a universe. And then also like a completion and ending a large, and it's just the journey ends. It's not like anything's being killed off or anything's dying. It's just this journey's coming to an end. This particular trip is over. The car is, you know, getting parked into the garage. I always hated the end of a road trip. I hated arriving at my destination, whether it was home or someplace else, because I just loved the movement of the car. I loved sitting there watching things pass by and having all these experiences and just being along for the ride. I loved that. And I hated when it ended, any kind of trip ending. And we also have this journey right here, right, that you were hoping for, maybe afraid of. But maybe you're looking to your next trip, your next journey. Well, this one's ending here, coming to a close. Just kind of naturally, it's just the end of the road trip, end of the vacation, end of the journey here, end of the honeymoon. It's just coming to a close. And there's not a lot anybody can do to make it happen or stop it from happening. It's just the larger forces of the universe. Your to-do list is 8 of Wands. This is communicating. Could be like sending the thank you notes for the lovely, lovely trips. telling someone it's, you know, we're at the end of the line. It could be a lot of different things, but it's your job to communicate. It's not really saying what about. There is, I do see like a lot of communication, like maybe a mass email update, which everybody loves, but there is something about a lot of it. So that's, I'm seeing like a stack of thank you notes. I'm seeing like something where there's a lot of it. There's also, Eight of Wands is also about being very careful about communication, and it's also about checking things. It can be a warning about communication. Has there been a miscommunication or a miscommunication? Has there been something, you know, make sure you've opened your mail, make sure you've opened your email, make sure you've checked what I think I have like 20 inboxes at this point in modern life. So make sure you've checked your inboxes and your voicemail. It can be a reminder to dot your I's and cross your T's throughout your whole communicative sphere. So being careful with communication, making sure you're checking everything and you're being very clear, but it could also be like just needing to make an announcement, needing to, I just see there's a lot. So either there's a lot of recipients or a lot you need to do. This could be coming home from vacation and having to deal with your inbox or something. You better deal with your inbox, because tarot doesn't, I mean, sometimes it can talk about those smaller things like checking your inbox. And when it does, it's definitely time to pay attention to that. So, so you could be coming back from something, something's ending, and now you have to, you know, you're back from your honeymoon and now you have to get back on your correspondences and get things going, make the phone calls and the, yeah. So there's something about needing to communicate and needing to be sort of on point about it. And there's either a high volume of it or there's a lot of people with one announcement or something like that. You need to make an announcement or something. You'll know what it is. It's your to-do list. And that's not necessarily you have to do this or you're a bad person. It's just like looking for, oh, that's right. That's right. I got to check my inbox. Oh, that's right. I need to, you know, go through all my communications. So, so that's your to-do list, is to communicate thoroughly. And then your possible outcome here is Six of Coins. This is such like a interesting, this is like the bookkeeping. The bookkeeping now needs to be done. Okay. So you're going to check your communication and there's going to be something about bookkeeping that needs to be done. Some sort of accounting that should be done, maybe calculations. It's about money. It's about how we distribute our money, spend our money, or time. So, and this one is making some calculations, and people kind of have to wait their turn. You might find more bills than you expected, and you know, you'll have to calculate which one has the lowest late fee and pay that one later, and the one with the highest late fee, pay it today. So something like that. There's some sort of accounting that comes out of this communication, and paying your bills, donating to the charities you want to donate to, so that you can help build the world you want to see. And so there's some sort of acquiescence to the world as it is, and some sort of expenditure of time and money for the world you do want to see and you want to help create. So, right, because giving to charities is very visionary. It's about seeing something being better than what it is, and putting your money there, and putting your time and your money there, or your money there to make the world conform more to how you envision it could be. So there could be some charity work involved here. And needing to be generous, to donate, to, you know, participate in that flow of time and money and the generosity of that, and the allocations of that. So I see like, check your messages and do your accounting. That's basically what I see. And there's this overall like leaving something behind here. Leaving something behind here. An ending. You know, maybe you're a little discouraged about the future of humanity, of the planet, of society. And this is like, well, check your messages and see where you can invest in the world that you want to see. right? If you don't want people to be hungry, try to find a way to do that. I mean, that's one thing I find really interesting with manifestation work. And I think it has to all be working together, but there is a sense where, you know, we want to manifest for ourselves, but we also want to manifest for the world we want to leave behind. And we also want to manifest for, I don't know how that all works. Like for the hungry, like it pains us, right, to see hungry people or people dying of lack of clean drinking water. That shouldn't be happening. We don't see it, but it's happening in huge volumes all over the world, and it's just really interesting to think about sort of the world we want to invest in, the world we want to see happening, and the way we think it should work. So it has something to do with this loss of faith, and maybe this loss of faith, this anxiety about the future, this depression is going to be lifted by you investing in something, some charitable work or something. So, all right, Scorpio, that was an interesting, if slightly mundane reading. So if it resonated and you want to know more about what we might be talking about here, come follow me over to Vimeo. But if not, I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Thank you for your support of my channel.